Alright, today we're going to be changing out a valve cover gasket. I just got done doing a carburetor change out on this truck, running a new steel fuel line, and during that I noticed that there was a oil leak, and you can see it kind of going down on the exhaust pipe, and that leak is coming up from this back side over here on this valve cover. So we're going to go ahead and replace it. Alright, now that we've got the valve cover off, I can tell you quickly why this thing was leaking. The person that installed before me on these quart gaskets where they have dual holes, these should be installed on the top side of the valve cover, not the bottom side, and you have potential for leak there, and that's exactly where this was happening at. So we're going to go ahead and clean this all off, and then what we're going to do is once it's all cleaned, we're actually going to glue it instead of silicone it to there. Silicone gives you a two different material of bonding when it comes to this, and it's just too hard to make sure that you have a nice tight seal. Whereas if you use an adhesive glue to glue this, let it cure, and then actually install it, this will never move off of it. And then installing the dual holes on the top side will allow those leaks to be leak free. Never ever, in all the times that I've done these valve cover gaskets this way, have ever had a leak on my end. So we're going to go ahead and do it that way, and we'll go ahead and continue on. All right, now that we got it on, what we'll do is we'll flip it over, put some pressure on that gasket, make sure it's all seated properly, nice and even. If you did it right, it shouldn't stick to the cardboard. Just like that, you can pick it right back up, no glue. Bolt holes line up. Look at that, nice and perfect. Notice that dual is going to be on the top side, so we're going to install it just like that. So if I flip it on the underside, you'll see that dual right there. So let's go ahead and install it. All right, now that we've got the valve cover back in place with the new gasket on, all I do is I hand tighten the bolts all the way down until they're snug. You can put a socket with an extension and use that just to hand tighten it. Once I have all four of them tightened, then I'll go back to each one. You can do it in a star pattern, clockwise, counterclockwise, and I will put half turns on them, and I will keep going around until the bolts are actually snug tight to where they feel like they can't turn anymore. At that point, I'll go up to about 25 foot-pounds, no more than that, and I will put a torque on those, and then we will go ahead and start it up, warm it up, make sure there's no leaks, and check everything to make sure everything's nice and snug tight.